Hello, and welcome to the Conspiracy Consultants. I'm Michelle, and alongside a fantastic guest host every episode, I take some of the weirdest and wildest conspiracy theories and unpick how someone would go about making them a reality. One thing before we get on with the show. Back in 2016, a study by Dr. David Robert Grimes suggested that a century-long deception could be carried out if fewer than 125 people knew about it. Now, I really enjoy doing this podcast, and I would love it to be the worst kept secret in all of conspiracy land. So while the main feed will always be free, if you enjoy this episode, I do have one ask of you. Please, tell your friends. Let's go make some conspiracy dreams come true, shall we?
I've been absolutely exploding to share this one with you. All right, so, Michelle, what do these three things have in common? So for the listener, we've got the musical Wicked, we've got Sandra Bullock in a spacesuit, and some nerd with long hair.
They're defying gravity.
Exactly. And my next question is, what are you doing on the 12th of August, 2026? You like to book things far ahead, don't you? Are you busy that day? Do you have plans?
Am I going to defy gravity on that day?
You are going to defy gravity on that day.
Fun! Does gravity cease to exist? We're dying trying. Okay. No, I've completely missed this. I have not heard or seen anything about this.
Good, because it is complete trash, but it's very exciting trash. So, this is the conspiracy in a nutshell. And it was all released through TikTok, because of course it was, which is on the 12th of August at 2:33 your time, so that's 3:33 my time, the world will lose gravity for 7 seconds. It'd be caused by two intersectional gravity waves from black holes with a 94.7% accuracy. So, Michelle, what do you think would happen if gravity stopped?
Sorry, I'm still hung up on the 94.7% accuracy. Is this the prediction, or is it that 7 seconds? Is that accurate, or?
The person who posted the video said that yes, it is a 94.7% accuracy that it is going to happen. Hence, and we'll get into it a bit, the conspiracy to hide this truth that is going to happen to us. And I don't know if we talked about before what my boss said about numbers. Oh, this is brilliant.
No.
We were doing a campaign for a mobile phone brand, and we wanted to do something for Blue Monday, the made up saddest day of the year. There's no evidence behind that either. Our boss kind of turned up, and we're trying to make a list of happy things like, otters hold hands while they sleep and that kind of stuff. And our boss said, well, there's 33 things. And I said, what do you mean? He goes, there's 33 good things in the world. And his logic was that if you're going to make up a fake number, you never want it to be divisible by 2, 5, or 10. Because then it sounds made up. So that's a handy trick for anyone who wants to come up with their own conspiracy theory. Avoid those three and you're absolutely golden. And say it with certainty.
Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I just have this vision of me being in the office and suddenly all the desks float and then the building will stay in the ground because the building's not just held down by gravity, right? The building actually has foundations in the ground under the earth. So that's not going to stop anything. So we'll just hit our ceilings, right? I'll look like Katy Perry in that spaceship.
My gosh, yes. And then when you come back, you'll understand that the world is all about love or whatever she did.
I mean, look, it's done well for her, right? She's now dating Justin Trudeau, he's cute.
If everyone on the world flies up and comes down, Justin Trudeau can't date everyone on the planet. Even his Canadian levels of world love can't extend that far. Poor man.
No. Okay. Yeah, no, I get that.
But you are very close to what the conspiracy theorists say would happen, which is...
So the results, according to the conspiracy theories, it's bad. Very, very bad. Everything will be thrown off at 1,670 kilometers an hour?
Yeah, because that's the speed that the Earth spins.
Okay.
It'll
floating... Really? Does it spin that quick? I guess it must, yeah.
Floating in the first 2 seconds, then you'll continue to rise during 3 to 4 second interval, reaching 15 to 20 meters if up in the air. And then anything not locked down will fly up and then back after 7.3 seconds, falling down hard on the Earth. 40 to 60 million deaths predicted.
Cool. So what I'm hearing is on the 12th of August, 2026, I need to be in a room with a very low ceiling. And actually, you know what room would be great for this? You want to be in a bathroom. Everything's nailed down in a bathroom except towels. Towels aren't going to hurt you.
But you're not nailed down in a bathroom unless you've got a seatbelt set up that I haven't seen.
No, but like a living room, books, chairs, seats, PlayStation controllers. I'm not saying things I can see in the room, obviously. Glasses of wine. You don't bring those things into the bathroom. Bed frame, mattress, cushions,
You can bring a glass of
hangers.
wine into the bathroom.
Well, if you're having a bath, don't have a bath at 9 in the morning, and then
It's
you'd be all right.
2 in the afternoon.
Or 2 in the afternoon.
I'm worried about your schedule. Also, I will be spreading a rumor that you lock yourself in with a seatbelt when you go to the toilet. But you've got all those hard ceramic edges that you could smack your head off of.
But everything is drilled down. So, like, cushion it, pillows,
Right.
tape down the pillows, or honestly, get a seatbelt. Sit on the lid of your toilet. Buckle up. Buckle up, bitches, is going to be the head tagline of this podcast.
Buckle up, bitches. I want that on a t-shirt. Now, you'd be happy to know that's not what would actually happen.
Oh, okay.
So instead, what would happen is the force pushing you off will be the same as the force pushing down. Very little, just don't jump. We did this in physics. I read a really interesting thing where a guy was saying that if you were on a train and the train was going over a hill, without gravity tying you down, the train would just keep going off into space. So like roller coasters, stay away from them. You and everything on the Earth will continue the same movement you were doing before the 7 seconds. It's the first law of gravity. You'll just keep going. So everything will remain relative. No gravity is not the same as no global spin. So this is a thing where two conspiracy theories are being conflated. This is just gravity switch off. The world will still keep spinning. That's not the problem. The real problem is the Earth might explode a bit. I did not know this, but gravity is the only reason our planet stays together. It's constantly pushing it out and it's then being pulled back in. And without gravity, the Earth's crust will rupture, volcanoes will spurt, and we're all kind of stuffed. And we'll lose the satellites, which is also kind of bad.
Okay, so what you're telling me is that game that they have you play in like drama school, when you like press your hands together and they say put all your energy into your hands. And when you let go, it feels like there's a ball in between your hands. What you're saying is Earth is the space that your hand is pressing into.
Yes.
Okay, you haven't done this before. Okay, Jamie, right now, take your hands.
Yeah.
Oh, do this. Press as hard as you can against them. Like, really push. Yeah, and count down from 5, 4, 3, all your might. 2, 1. Now let go, and it'll feel like there's a space in between.
Has this become a weird ASMR podcast? I always get worried about recording a countdown, but yeah.
You feel like there's like a little bit of a ball.
Yes, so that's what
Yeah.
effectively the Earth is doing. The Earth is constantly pushing out, and the only thing keeping it down is that gravity thing. So
Is
yeah,
God's hands, Jamie.
well, that's what I call gravity. It's not good if we suddenly lose gravity for 7.5 seconds, which is a very specific number as well. Society might keep going, but things would be very different. Also, coastal communities be hit by tsunamis. Not good times for anyone involved.
The animals would be safe.
It depends on the animal.
Well, in tsunamis, the animals, they always tell you first, right? That's the thing.
That's true. That's true. I think it's quite interesting is that the date that they have for it, the 12th of August, is the same day as a solar eclipse that we know is going to happen. And there is evidence that during solar eclipses, animals freak out. So perhaps you're right. I think the fish would be fine. Fish would have a great time. They would just, get new land to roam.
And that's how humans were made.
Oh my God, it's a prequel. Do you ever feel like really pissed off at the first fish to walk on land and be like, I could have just been hanging out in the ocean and instead I've got to pay taxes because of that fish?
You know what? I'm about to have a confession that's going to be really weird. I hate water on my face. I despise it.
Weird.
Yeah. Since I was a little girl, I remember very clearly my mom couldn't get me to wash my face. So she'd be like, here, put a towel on your face so when I'm washing your hair, your face doesn't get wet. And then she would spray the towel on my face to get my face clean.
Oh my God.
Shout out to Jenny, who's listening and loves it.
Shout
All
out to
good.
Jenny.
But from a young age.
Shout out to all of Michelle's family, particularly her dad. I love you, buddy. We had a great conversation at your wedding that needs to just keep going. Anyway, we'll be keeping the secret. So First and foremost, it's NASA. It's always NASA. They're the big baddies. There was a scientist who published a thing and then NASA took it off him and have been trying to shut this all down. Complete nonsense, because it is actually the LIGO Virgo CAGRA collection of observatories that run gravitational research. It's not NASA. As we all knew.
Hold on.
John.
Teach me to say that. The LIGO
Virgo CAGRA. So these are all individual observatories which work together to measure gravitational effects.
Okay, can we give it an acronym, please? I hate acronyms, but I feel like this is one of the moments where, as a consultant, I could accept them.
It's already made up of 2 acronyms. This is going to be like acronym on acronym, but the LVK.
LVK, okay.
LVK is snappy. I'd shop at LVK. Yeah.
Okay, so it's the LVK guys who are like, yo.
This is not
gravity.
NASA's thing. But we all love to blame NASA. If we need to blame someone and it's space-based, you blame NASA. NASA
Okay, they've lost a lot of funding.
They've lost a lot of funding. Think of all the conspiracies they can't do now.
That's the conspiracy. The government found out that NASA were behind all of it and defunded them. That's the real reason.
100%. 100%. They've known about it since 2019. That's another very popular myth associated with this. Complete nonsense, because this rumor only popped up a few weeks ago. No connection to 2019.
Actually, I'm going to question. I think they can totally 100% be like, they've known since 2019 and we're only just discovering it. I think that's fair. If you find out somebody cheated on you 5 years ago, it doesn't mean it didn't happen 5 years ago. It means you just found out about it, right?
That's a very good point. Very good point. But why is it only coming out now? Because of the lack of funding.
There you go. So a whistleblower. That's what we need. What I'm curious about is why 2019? Like, what were they doing in 2019 that spurred on that discovery?
2019, oh no.
COVID. They invented COVID to cover it up.
They invented COVID to cover it up. It
NASA's
worked.
behind COVID.
Yeah, all right. Well, I was going to debunk that one, but no, I think that makes complete sense. Again, we talk about this idea that if you've got a conspiracy theory, the more specific you can be, the more believable it is. So the conspirator behind this suggested that it was called Project Anchor and had the specific funding of 89 billion, another very specific number. The 89 billion being spent to manage the deaths afterwards and get the kind of the celebrities and the rich to a special padded bunker, I assume.
Cool. As if they don't already have bunkers.
Exactly. Like, will it be one of these things where it's like, do you want to go to your friend's bunker? Do you want to go to your own bunker? Do you want to go to like the communal bunker? There's probably something a bit kind of tacky about going to the public bunker, unless that's where you don't want to be on your own in a bunker.
I feel like in Desperate Housewives, they use basements effectively to do that when like the tornado comes. Fallout. There are still houses that have bunkers, right? And in Gilmore Girls, you can have like a bunker that's actually not a bunker. It's just like a safe room in your living room, and Emily has it, and the password is 1111.
You've now doxed her. I mean, she's not a real person.
Have you seen Gilmore Girls?
I know it is a religious thing. I choose not to practice. So Project Anchor, it's a NASA project. It's got funding. This is the most unbelievable thing about it. That a project since 2019 still has its full funding. What are you going to say?
Well, they could do funding incrementally. A few comments. First, really like the name Project Anchor. It does what it says in the tin. Second, who is funding it?
Oh, the taxpayer.
Anna and I have done the math on NASA and how much they get annually, and it is
NASA.
not NASA. Yeah, on how much NASA gets annually, and it is nowhere near 89 billion.
So how else are they getting it? That's another one for us to cover off in a mo. I also, while I like Project Anchor, I'm actually going back on it now, because Project Anchor would imply you're anchoring. But if that's being spent to just look after the people who failed to anchor, it feels like a misnomer.
Project Morgue is too morbid. Project, like what's a cleanup project? Project
Swiffer.
Chris says Project Bazalgette. Bazalgette invented the sewers under London.
What a nerd. Project Hoover, but that's branded. They could do
Project
a collaboration deal. Project Henry. There we go. And a giant Henry the Hoover clears the bodies from the streets. There's co-branding that can be done. Everyone would get Henry the Hoover. Be very nice.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Now, the other bit that's kind of a very bad part of it is the idea of powerful gravity waves shutting off gravity. That's not how gravity works. Gravity is generated by the mass of an object. So unless physics as we know it is wrong, and I'm not saying it isn't, it is Completely impossible to switch off gravity. That's not how the universe works.
So says you.
So says I, a man who
Have you
hasn't done
tried?
physics since high school, and who also hasn't tried. So maybe it's an effort thing. Just
I
about,
was going to say, is there a big button like in The Good Place where you can switch everything off? Is there a big red button that says switch off gravity?
who has the button. And don't say the
Um,
president of the United States, because it's always the plot point.
well, I was going to say that, like, I did immediately obviously go to America. You know me too well. And I was thinking of, like, okay, a guy follows you around with a briefcase and it's got a code. And then,
One of the ideas for the nuclear failsafe was that there would be a guy who would have the failsafe inside them. And in order to set off the nuke, they would have to be killed and the failsafe removed, proving that the person willing to set off the nuclear bombs was willing to kill for it, personally.
okay, you know what? It's a bit fucked up, but I actually understand the logic behind it. Completely immoral and unethical, but so is nuclear warfare.
It's true. It's true. And lastly, it's time to match the solar eclipse. We see this with a lot of conspiracy theories. There's an element of truth. There's something people know about. You only need to schedule one astronomical event and then you get another one free. It feels too neat.
Yeah.
But this made me think about, because I was looking at were there past examples of fake gravity related claims. No, because they're insane. But there's been plenty when it comes to solar eclipses. So first of all, can you say this word out loud? Because it's a very silly word.
I was just trying to when it popped up. Helioclepsphobia. Klepsiphobia? Helioclepsiphobia?
Sounds good by me. What do you think it means?
Phobia of solar eclipses would be my
Exactly.
guess.
And we as a society have been scared of solar eclipses for a long time. The Chinese thought it was a dragon eating the sun. In medieval Europe, they thought it was the end times. Generally assumed to be a bad thing. But what I thought was, this is too negative. This is sad. This is lame. Who wants to be afraid? When instead they can be, and I've made this new term up, helioclypsiophelos, which is profiteering from a solar eclipse. And do you want to profiteer from solar eclipses, Michelle?
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. You can be profiteering alongside some of the greatest disruptors of history. We've got Alexander the Great, Battle of Gaugamela in 331 BC. There was a lunar eclipse. The lunar eclipse alarmed the Macedonian troops. So he claimed that it was an omen from the gods against Persia, not them, and they absolutely trumped the Persians. You can go other great disruptors like Christopher Columbus. Do you know the story? It's very sad.
I don't know which story you're talking about. I know a lot about Christopher Columbus, but
He did a lot of bad things.
a lot of bad things. Yeah.
So Christopher Columbus, he wanted to get some goods off some indigenous leaders. You know, a classic.
Is this the
Christopher
smallpox
Columbus.
blankets?
No, this is another terrible, terrible crime he did. So he
good.
said to the people, "Give us all your food." The people went, "No, that's silly." And he goes, "Give us your food, or my God will blot out the sun." And they went, "No, that's silly," because he knew it was coming. Switched off, took all their stuff, and then they all died. Yeah, disruption. And then lastly, the greatest disruptor of them all, America. Do you remember the Great American Eclipse?
For those who can't see it, Jamie has put a bald eagle with like a little it feels like a really old school, like my dad had one, like Bluetooth speaker that loops around your ear and kind of looks like something you'd expect the Secret Service to use.
Yeah.
Cool. No.
Eagles don't even have ears. It's just the business. It's not for use. It is purely for flex.
It's for optimization.
Art of the deal. Something,
Yeah,
something.
okay.
Yeah. So in the Great American Eclipse. So do you remember this?
No.
Exactly. I didn't either. I had to do a lot of Googling. In 2017, do you remember that one with Trump squinting into the sun?
Also, no. Do you know what? I'm really bad. I don't actually pay any attention to solar eclipses. People told me not to look at them and I went, okay.
I love your responses. It's not even not look at it, just ignore completely. And they've all gone away. So maybe you're the one who's keeping us safe from these terrible things by just negging solar eclipses. There was a solar eclipse where the United States was kind of the main area that would be seeing it. So Fox News went with that and went, obviously that means because we're the best country, we're the only country that can see the solar eclipse. So they lent heavily into branding this as the Great American Eclipse. But it was a perfect time for scamming. And so loads of scammers made fake eclipse glasses and sold them. And people bought them in huge amounts. So, you know, people see eclipses as terrible things, the end of the world. I see it as a chance for profit. And that leads us to our main question, which is less eclipse, More, how can we stop gravity? Why would we stop gravity? How do we prepare? Who do we prepare? And most importantly, where's the profit? Michelle, how can we stop gravity?
Oof. I
Start
never
with the
even
big one.
took physics. Okay, how do we stop gravity? I mean, we already do sometimes, but generally by leaving the atmosphere. So, oh, I have a question. Okay, the hole in the ozone layer that was caused by allegedly women's hairspray and perfume and deodorant aerosol can sprays.
Yeah.
If that was a big enough hole, would gravity leak out into the solar system?
No, because
Okay.
gravity's being acted upon us by the Earth.
Okay. Because I just, here's my thought process, right? Like, okay, because the ozone layer is meant to keep out like really powerful, damaging UV lights.
Yes.
But what if it is like the Truman Show or like flat Earth and there's a big dome around and actually the dome is keeping things in? So if that ozone layer is actually more of like a dome and you had a hole in it, then maybe we could do something there.
I like that we've just gone full like firmament theory. We should do a standalone episode on firmament theory because it's hilarious. But sure, yeah. So
Yeah.
so it's not even that we're stopping gravity. Gravity doesn't exist. Gravity's a myth peddled by the mainstream media or whoever's bad at the moment.
Gravity does exist, but what if gravity is not what we think it is? What if our idea of gravity is wrong? Which, let us be clear, would not be the first time in the world that science has been proven incorrect. What we know now is the most correct version, we hope. But like, we're now looking back to like ancient Aztec medicine. There's lost knowledge. Obviously, for a long time, people in Europe believed in the humors, and you don't need leeches to suck out your blood to like fix
You'd still
whatever
do.
disease.
So crazy ass story. My dad, when he was a medical student or kind of early in
Yeah.
his career, did a surgery where they had leeches. I didn't think people still did leeches, but it was
Oh.
like a proper surgery. My
But they
question
eat
is,
infected blood, right? They clean up wounds.
they clean up wounds, but they don't clean
Maggots.
any blood. No,
Sorry,
maggots clean wounds.
maggots clean wounds. I've just been
Leeches just
corrected.
suck blood, so they use it as a way to
Yeah.
get rid of blood from areas. But my question is, do they count as colleagues? Are they medical practitioners, these leeches? And should they be better qualified? I mean, unrelated.
Okay, unrelated. Do maggots have a brain?
I mean, the ones I talk to do. I don't know what kind of low IQ maggots you hang out with.
Okay, so we're saying gravity. Let's
Gravity's
say
just
gravity, as we know it exists, and there is not a dome around Earth. Okay, how do we stop gravity?
so I have a theory, but it's going to be tricky.
Okay, you're gonna have to spoon feed it to me.
While everyone's asleep, so at nighttime, we get rid of the Earth, so there's no longer anything creating the gravity.
Cool, 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 cool. I like the idea, except where do we go?
No, we all stay there around it, but
Oh,
we replace the Earth with a hologram, and then suddenly gravity will be gone. People are like, what? The gravity's disappeared because the gravity was never there. There's no mass.
okay. So we're saying gravity disappears, and holograms now have structure.
Michelle, I'm coming with solutions here. All right. Yes,
You're right. I'm
and
coming with
the
problems.
first rule
I'm
of
sorry.
improv. But
I'm sorry.
genuinely, the only way to remove gravity is to remove mass. Oh, that's another one. Maybe you hollow out the Earth from the inside.
Oh, I like that. Okay, so that also gives space for the aliens and the lizards.
Yeah, exactly. So we create
Okay.
real estate and we remove gravity.
And tunnels that get you to China.
In Total Recall, the remake with that Irish guy, who I can't remember his name, but he's a very good actor,
Well,
people on the south side of Earth commute to the north through a tunnel in the center of the Earth in a special like commuting train that goes through the middle of the Earth. And there's a
fun.
point in the middle where they go weightless, but because it's their commute, they're all like on their phones or listening to music or having a banana and they don't really care. And I just
Amazing.
know I'd be really freaked out if that was my daily commute, even if I did it every day.
I mean, I guess that you kind of get used to it, right? Okay, so we're hollowing out the Earth
I like
because,
hollowing out. Yeah. It could be
yeah,
like, when you get those like chocolate balls that then they pour the molten chocolate on and it melts it like that, but that's the Earth. Yeah. It's going to take a while though.
well, that's okay because it's already hollow.
But then if it's already hollow, that's the level of gravity working. It has to get hollower.
How hollow is hollow Earth in that theory?
I think it really depends. It's also not entirely based on the truth because the centre of the Earth is
What?
incredibly high pressure and heat and nothing can live there.
I'm sorry, Jamie. Are you suggesting to me that a conspiracy hasn't been thought all the way through?
I think it's a flight of fantasy.
I'm just trying to think of other ways we could get rid of gravity. When am I not experiencing gravity or not feeling like I'm experiencing gravity? Okay, so water, you float.
Yeah.
That feels like being free of gravity, even though I know it's not. Um, Trampolines, you get up in the air, gravity brings you back down, but you're propelling yourself upwards. Oh, the indoor skydiving machines, air, wind pushing you up.
So what you're saying is it's not even that we remove gravity, we just give the illusion of gravity being removed.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a psyop. That's cool.
There's lots of ways to like imitate zero gravity.
Maybe what we do is what we did earlier with our hands, but instead with people. So everyone has like a weight placed
Oh.
on top of them and squishes them down to the ground. You remove it and everyone just feels so light. And
All I can think of are, those mattresses that come vacuum packed and sealed in like a really tiny thing and you have to unpack them.
oh my God, yes, I've done one of those. Like opened one up.
Yes.
How
Yes.
quickly does it expand?
It depends. I've had ones that expanded like fairly quickly, and I've had some that take like 2 days.
Okay, I've always imagined it explodes outwards in a single burst.
Yeah,
But that's
not
probably
quite.
very unsafe. Did you ever play the game Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board?
Yes, yes, I did.
I've never played. I've just watched like Americans and TV shows doing. So can you explain to the listeners who might not know what Light as a Feather, Stiff as a Board is and how it works?
God, my memory of it is somebody's lying down in kind of like a plank.
Yeah.
And everyone sits around and goes, light as a feather, stiff as a board. Light as a feather, stiff as a board. And the idea is they lift you up, but underneath the thing that you're lying on so that it feels like you're floating.
So American teenagers have somehow managed to break gravity. What do they know that we don't?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. We're all just going to just pretend gravity doesn't exist. This leads to the question of why would we stop gravity? What is
so many reasons. So many reasons. Think about how much less I'd weigh if we stopped gravity.
You'd weigh nothing.
Exactly. Scales would be meaningless.
Okay, great. Any other reasons why we would stop gravity? I mean, we use gravity for a lot of things. It saves huge amounts of power and energy because potential energy turns to kinetic energy from gravity for so much stuff. I mean, like if you didn't have gravity on Earth and you wanted to go for a drive, you'd need to find a way to glue the car to the ground, maybe magnets. So we use gravity to do half the work in our lives.
Oh, okay. People aren't working hard enough. Those lazy millennials or those lazy whatever the next generation are coming through, they don't know what real work is. We are going to create a false drought of electricity.
Blackout.
We are hurting for energy. There's not enough sunshine. England is grey all year round. We need people to work harder. We need to manufacture a reason to get them off their asses and away from their computers and out of their home and off of TikTok. And we want them making electricity and generating that. So they're going to walk around a wheel or they're going to install more wind farms.
Okay, right. And how does gravity play into this?
Oh, sorry. Because if you stop gravity, then you need the power and then the people need to work to create the right gravity to keep our lives going.
It's a very good point. I mean, I only found out recently how potential energy so makes power in like dams and how it generates tons of energy. So if we take gravity away, people are going to have to work for themselves. I've got a friend who does vertical farming.
Oh, yes. Okay.
She was originally a horizontal farmer. Her family are horizontal farmers.
Horizontal farming is like, oh, yeah, sorry, just the globe earther. I'm a globe earther. It's not a big deal. Don't worry. I'm a horizontal farmer. You don't need to think about me.
Yeah. Horizontal farmer feels like a Victorian insult, but it means that, if you were going to do vertical farming with gravity out the equation, it's as easy as horizontal farming. Send people up the thingamawhat's it. They're not going to fall to their deaths. They're just going to float because without gravity, things don't just float away. They remain where they are. You can squirt in any direction you'd like to. Options.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Then we get on to how do we prepare? So we know gravity is going to stop. We've got actually quite a few months to prep. So now this is a slight divergence from the way we normally do this. Imagine you don't have the power of the secret Illuminati government bank. You, as Michelle, how do you prepare over the coming months for the sudden stopping of gravity?
Okay. Trampoline park. but like a trampoline park that's full of trampolines. And I'm just going to see how long I can keep myself in the air, kind of like a keep uppy ball.
So there's a trampoline above you and below you.
Yeah,
So
basically.
you just go poof, poof, poof.
Yeah, I never stop. I think I'd probably want to spend time in the water, right?
This is a thing I've seen a lot of people writing about, that if you were on a boat, you probably wouldn't notice everything until you get back to shore to see the devastation. There's also definitely cases of during the tsunami in Indonesia, people who were out scuba diving didn't notice it at all.
Interesting.
I, much like you, be in the water, safest place to be, and it's only 7 seconds. I can hold my breath that long.
I know it's only 7 seconds and this probably isn't necessary, but do you think people could be adapted by like surgical enhancements to have gills?
I honestly don't know. My answer is probably no, because it's the gill is the external part of a very complex organ. So it would require building a new organ, which I don't know if we can do that.
Well,
Who
we
knows?
have-
If I ever won the lottery, I would spend it on having a lab on retainer so that whenever anyone asked me a question, I could be like, let me ask the boys of the lab. And like, the lads, they say it's okay. It'd be great. Yeah, I think it's the ocean is a very good one. What, a trapeze, maybe? Maybe you hold on a trapeze, you jump at the right moment, and then you can go completely up on the trapeze. And then when the gravity comes back, swing back down and around and launch yourself off. But I
Yeah.
suppose it would only work if you timed it perfectly, because if you
Yeah.
were at the downswing, you'd just stay there at the bottom.
Which would be sad if you had this like once in a lifetime 7 seconds where you're like, this can be the moment I get my video. What if gravity meant your phone went away and you couldn't get your video?
Secure your phone,
Yeah.
folks. First thing to do in an emergency, secure your phone, then secure the phones of others.
Like us the other day when the fire alarm went off at dinner and everyone completely sat there despite the fact it actively smelled like fire.
Considering we just had a disaster like last month where people died from doing that, I worry for us as a species. This is an important question. This question actually comes from Christopher, as in the man who's
Ooh.
in the room with you right now. Who do we prepare? How do we prepare our shareholders? Who's our top people to protect?
God, okay, so we need to do a stakeholder map first and foremost. Okay.
I don't want to do that. I'm doing that at work at the moment.
I'm doing a change management course at the moment to get my certification, and that's one of the things I really spend a lot of time on.
So who are our stakeholders? That's the important question. We're hollowing out the Earth.
If this conspiracy is real and it's NASA,
Yeah.
then the stakeholders are presidents and billionaires, right? Like that's effectively who they're saving. But I guess it depends on why we're stopping gravity.
I was thinking in a post-gravity world, who's going to be in power? So if you've got your tech billionaires, we're going to lose the satellites. So they're useless. There's going to be earthquakes all over, so geopolitical boundaries may be destroyed. Do we really need presidents at this point? We need warlords more than anything else. So who is worth keeping in a post-apocalyptic world? Because I always think they save the weirdest people. They save like chubby oligarchs, and it's like that guy's not going to, purify his own urine and eat radiated zombie. I don't trust him.
Yeah. I guess if we're making the decision, and again, I'm still not really clear on the why we're stopping gravity, like what to what end, because I think that informs our stakeholders. Because if we're doing it because we want to reassert a new world order where land boundaries somehow get removed in 7 seconds, then we're talking about empowering revolutionaries, right? We're talking about the people we want to prepare are the military force, whether that is people or whether that is weapons or supply chains. We want to secure those. So I guess that's my question back to you, is just for the sake of the stakeholder map, what do you envision the why being?
I still think the best answer is it's so that people don't have to see their weights and scales, which I'm very here for. So I think it's not just people we should save. I think there's people who we should actively ensure are outside when it's happening. And it's people like me who will point out that weight and mass aren't the same thing. Pedants, we need to get rid of them. We need to live in a post-pedant world.
Do you know what the problem is? My husband's also a pedant.
I know.
He says he's not a pedant, he just values accuracy.
So, when the Earth is a blighted post-gravitational wasteland, do you really want a guy picking out your grammar?
Yes, because he'll cook the things that he finds in the post-apocalyptic wasteland, and I still need to eat. He might be a pedant, but he can cook.
That's the thing. We'll just have to start ranking people.
So we are saving people who are practical.
Yeah, people who have real-world skills, but not in an annoying way.
So I want to say farmers, teachers, doctors, people who have real skills.
Where's our margins? How are we gonna? Because we've got to pay back the 89 billion to the shadowy overlords above.
Huh?
What's their ROI? We convince a bunch of celebrities. So we do a media blackout of it. Only the people we choose to survive. But we
Uh-huh.
tell a bunch of celebrities that they are paying for an exclusive anti-gravity experience, but they need to pay
Mm,
for it. Big money, big
yeah.
investments. And then if we can get 89 incredibly rich people to jump at the right time, they get a lovely day for like 7 seconds and then a pretty scary fall. And we get investment.
Sounds like that could work.
And as far as apocalypses go, this is one of the good ones.
I mean, I'm still very unclear on the logic of this one. This has got to be one of the weirder
Oh,
conspiracies.
I love this. This is the most bizarre one. It is the most fundamentally, not only that it's untrue, but it's incredibly easy to prove it's not true. And even if it was true, wouldn't work in the way they say it's going to work. So it's kind of, there's many levels of this can't make sense. But what I think we should do is we do a follow up where
Okay.
we live stream those 7 seconds on a call to see if
Uh-huh.
it happens.
Yeah, we can do that. I'd
But
be
I
in the
won't.
bathroom
I won't
wearing a
jump in.
seatbelt.
Oh, same. Yeah,
Okay.
your toilet seatbelt. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I know. I've seen it. It's real, and I've seen it with my own eyes.
Uh-huh. Yeah, totally.
It's one of those
Very
like double
real.
strap ones they have on helicopters, so it properly locks in. And there's a headset. I don't know what that's about.
Well,
Yeah,
gotta have a hobby.
you've got to have a
Um,
hobby.
yeah, I'm still just I I I can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah,
Like even with the moon landing being fake, also NASA, thank you NASA. Um, at least I understood we're in the Cold War. We want to assert dominance. We want to win the space race. We want to prove that we're, further ahead than other countries, namely Russia.
yeah.
I get that, but this is the entire planet.
We're all getting scared about the same things together, apart
Yeah,
from North Korea, because I don't think they get TikToks. They wouldn't have seen.
but can I just ask, like, in the conspiracy online, like, why are they saying NASA's known about it and is hiding it? Is it because they're saying they want people to die?
No, NASA want to keep it quiet because of, widespread panic, but they're telling certain people to get them to safety. But they need to be prepared for when it all goes tits up and they need to clean up, which also wouldn't be NASA's job, I think, in a global emergency.
I think in national disasters, though, people get called to do different things, right? So that I kind of get makes more sense. Also, I suspect with NASA, they'll have specialist cleanup crews, much in the way that like police have homicide cleanup crews. So there must be like a nuclear waste cleanup crew.
Oh, I'm sure. But so I think this is an interesting thing about conspiracies. NASA's easy because NASA do lots of stuff. They have a shady origin that we all
Yeah.
know about. So they're a very easy label you can slap on. This is the government organization that doesn't release information because it works on a lot of top secret projects.
Yeah.
But it also means it extends their remit to things that NASA would never do because to
Mm-hmm.
go, this is a coordinated government effort, no one believes that. To go, this is one government agency being naughty, it's much more
Mm.
believable. And I think it's much more grounding to have a single target of your conspiratorial concern.
I'm still confused.
It is fundamentally confusing. When you have to rewrite the laws of physics in order for a conspiracy to happen, the bar is very high on understanding.
Yeah. If gravity doesn't exist and we're all just chilling out on our couches, then
Oh, that would be the worst bit if you missed it. If gravity
yeah, if you
turned off,
imagine.
had no experience of it, there was nothing special, and then the next day the news like, do you know gravity was off for 7 seconds yesterday, and you were on
You're like,
TikTok? Yeah.
I was asleep. I was in bed. Like,
Oh, I am not napping. Those 7 seconds, I'm gonna hold on to something just in case.
but if you're in a different time zone, you'll be dead asleep.
Michelle, I am really worried about your sleep schedule.
Yeah, but if you're in a different time zone,
I'm in a different time zone.
no, not you and not me, but if someone in Australia were, because everyone's experiencing the lack of gravity, so they'll be asleep
That's true.
at 2 p.m.
That's true. Also,
Yeah.
however, Australia and the Nordics and us will experience it less than people on the equator. You experience gravity more on the equator because the Earth, as you imagine, is a kind of bowl egg shape thing-ish.
Yeah.
And yeah, because of the relative density, you experience it more on the equator. And so those on the equator would experience the lack of gravity slightly more. I mean, it's not that significant, but I think we're in a safer place.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to just pitch us a new theory because I think it has to be dramatic. I think people will stop gravity because they are tired of the planet and they think we need a reset. So we're stopping gravity because it's not 7 seconds, it's eternity.
We're just completely done with gravity.
No, we're just done with planet Earth.
It's grim.
Okay, I can go further with this. The lizard people who have come from another planet and are living in our skin have decided we're no longer worthy. They have taken over our highest offices. They are running the planet. They're billionaires. You've got their adrenochrome. They have decided Earth, going further. Earth, when gravity stops, more resources are now available to the rest of the planets, like the rest of the solar system. So by removing gravity and the Earth exploding, all of the remnants of Earth are going to scatter across, meaning that the depleted galaxy is going to have a rejuvenation, a renaissance, right? The lizard people are immortal and they're going to get back on their spaceship and go back to their home planet, and their spaceship is just hanging around waiting. I think we stop gravity to give Earth a hard reset. So, what do you think of my pitch?
I think it's enough to start a religion on, but not enough to sway me. I'm still for the hollowing out the earth to create real estate for lizard folk. So that is what's going to happen on the 12th of August.
This is very, well, the Mayan calendar ends and
Yes,
therefore the world is ending. It's like, no,
I'm
just
looking
the
forward to.
calendar.
I'm not looking forward to. It will make me sad. It'll make me kind of Schadenfreude sad, where you see all the people like gave up all their worldly belongings because they thought the world was going to end,
Yeah, it happens every time.
and then we don't learn. So that this is the topic I've been excited to tell you for just weeks at this point. And the fact that you have not been exposed to it, I'm very glad of, because I was looking and it kept popping up in the news, and NASA's made an official statement saying it's complete nonsense. Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I need to find the NASA statement because I feel like
Which, of
that's
course,
really
they would.
important.
Of course, they would say it's nonsense.
NASA, no gravity. There's a zero gravity research facility, of course. Okay, Lad Bible.
Yeah, the lad Bible. So this is an interesting thing. I saw a lot of different kind of public. What do we call it? Is lad Bible a news source?
I
Online
think.
commentary bodies
Mm,
who have then gone on to who have either gone, this is a nonsense thing. They've all said it's nonsense, but if gravity was to go off, this is what would happen, or this is nonsense thing. Here's what we think would happen if gravity turns off, and it's all people flying off the globe. And then I was looking at what actual scientists were saying, where they said people flying off the globe, that's not the problem. The problem is the world exploding.
So, a NASA spokesperson told Snopes in no uncertain terms that the viral theory was well and truly debunked. They said the Earth will not lose gravity on the 12th of August 2026. Earth's gravity, or total gravitational force, is determined by its mass.
Yep.
The only way for Earth to lose gravity would be for the Earth system, the combined mass of its core, mantle, crust, ocean, terrestrial water, and atmosphere, to lose mass. A total solar eclipse has no unusual impact on Earth's gravity. The gravitational attraction of the Sun and the Moon on the Earth, which doesn't impact Earth's total gravity, but does impact tidal forces, is well understood and is predictable, decades in advance. We'd be in a whole heap of trouble if our planet lost mass in such a way so as the loss of gravity might be a bit academic by that point.
Good point.
Uh, oh no, sorry. Now I'm back into Lad Bible. That wasn't NASA. That last sentence.
That doesn't sound like lad Bible. That's not their tone of voice.
No, Lad Bible would never. So that is so bonkers. I also find it so funny. It's like the Barbra Streisand effect, right? Like by acknowledging it, you actually give it space to grow, and that's what's like so bizarre. Like NASA, you're still in heat over
Yeah.
the fake moon landing.
I think that's one you actually believe. I don't believe, but it's more compelling, is the original moon landing was fake, but all the subsequent ones were correct. They just needed to get a win on the Soviets quickly.
I think I just liked the idea of a really elaborate movie set. No, I don't believe the moon landing was fake, mostly because, again, I'm just kind of like, why? I do believe some conspiracy theories, but I think there's ones that I understand, or not even necessarily believe, but understand because there's a logic to them. A really good example of this is Epstein and the Epstein stuff being like, well, hey, there's a guy who's had a pedophile sex trafficking ring going on for decades, and now suddenly he's dead, and people going, well,
Oh,
he
I
didn't
don't
kill
think he's dead.
himself.
I think they got him out of there.
Oh, okay, interesting.
It's based on nothing. It felt too neat for him to have been it. Because if he's had all that stuff on those people for so long,
Yeah.
it would have been dumb of him to allow himself to have it all taken away. I think he still had weight on them, and he's been taken to the island where him and Elvis and Tupac hang out.
Was there anything else that you wanted to cover? I know I derailed us for a little bit.
That's all right. No, that was the because it's just so insane. And I kept looking for, have we done
So,
this before? No. And I think we live in a world where we are constantly bombarded with terrible world-shaking news on a daily basis. So something like this
yeah.
just slips in quite neatly.
What happens if you just fill your bathtub? Will that help?
You, in lying down in a tub of water, would not experience anything different. However, the earthquake might make your building fall over. And do you know what's great about it? We never need to know because it's impossible.
Because it is bullshit. Well, thank you, Jamie. I'm amazed and thrilled that you found one I hadn't heard anything about before. What our development producer has just said is that we missed what infrastructure could we sell to profit. Jamie, go.
So while I would say invest heavily in big seatbelt, Sweden already ruined that by giving away the technology for the seatbelt for free because the engineers at Volvo thought it was beneficial to mankind, which means we're going to need to invent a newer, better seatbelt, much like you have on your toilet, that is more protective, safer than ever, can be affixed to different things. I think that's another challenge.
I have a pitch. Okay.
What's the pitch?
So, a seat belt, like, you know how dogs have harnesses and you
Yes.
have leads?
Yes.
We need to get people used to wearing harnesses and they have like a little like safety clip like you do like
We
in an
invest heavily
airplane.
in the kink industry.
Yes. So basically BDSM goes wild.
Yeah.
I thought Chris says partnering with Killing Kittens. Um, Look, you can make it a kink thing if you want, and then we need to just install like hooks, and then people can like tag their put their harness on where a bike stand should be, or a fence, or a door handle, and there we go.
Do you know that the S in BDSM stands for safety? It doesn't. It doesn't. I was trying to think if there's a new acronym we can make BDSM do, but I struggled. My brain doesn't keep up. Velcro. Everything's
Oh,
attached to
Velcro's
Velcro.
very good.
Because that's what they do on spaceships, don't
Velcro's a good one.
they?
Ooh,
Bouncy castles.
ooh, Chinese finger traps.
Explain.
Have you ever seen a Chinese finger
I
trap?
have seen a Chinese finger
Yeah,
trap. How is that going to save us when gravity goes?
that's fine. You put like bigger ones and you put your arm in and then you put the other side on somebody else and you just create a way to hold each other. So when you like float around, you're not floating into each other. Just think about it. It's the suction that keeps things going. So you basically create suction between you and the thing you're sitting on. Maybe you create suction like a Chinese finger trap that like half of it suctions onto your bum and half of it suctions onto your chair.
Do you know what I like about the Chinese finger trap? Is that I mean, what isn't there to like? It's a fantastic toy for the whole family.
Mm.
But is the fact that the tension of restraining your limb or your joint or whatever is slow. So it's not instant, you're glued. It is a process. So that because it's the acceleration and deceleration that's going to cause the problem.
Yeah, by working together.
Oh, but that's never going to happen. We're doomed. Humanity will die with their arms and Chinese finger traps.
Okay, so Velcro, Chinese finger traps, seat belts for every function. Um,
Gelatin.
just giant vats of
Just
gelatin.
giant bad Zorb balls. Everyone gets in a Zorb ball.
That would be good. Oh, definitely a Zorb helmet, right? Like everyone should
Yes.
have a helmet on.
Yes.
Our trampolines in the ceiling will really come into their own.
Yes, because up until now they've been purely decorative.
Seriously, if you're gonna bop your head, a trampoline's better than a concrete wall.
Have you ever played the game Portal?
No.
Really? You feel like someone who would have played Portal. It was a game where you fired a portal and then you fired another portal and you used gravity and funny like physics tricks to get through puzzles. But if you had a trampoline above you and a trampoline below you and there is no gravity, you would just ping pong back and forth. I wonder if you wouldn't accelerate though, would you? I don't know. I don't.
No,
My
I don't
physics knowledge has
know.
been reached.
Okay, and I have none because I never did physics in school. I did
How?
chemistry.
Why
So
didn't you
we
do
have like a
physics?
general science class where we did like bits of physics, like we did the basics, but I didn't take physics. And then I took biology and chemistry.
I like biology. I like the sticky sciences. I like building stuff in physics. I didn't like explaining why it worked the way it did.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to think what other solutions there might be. We've already kind of covered the circus stuff. The circus stuff is good because
There's
you
a
need
lot
a
of good
fixed
circus
point.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. And they've got to be pretty rigged either to a floating point that's fixed or into the earth. So actually there's a lot of safety nets there.
So maybe rather than bunkers, we should be going to big tops.
Yeah.
Safety and
This is when
surfaces.
everyone ran away to join the circus.
I'm not sure I'm ready for the post-apocalyptic clown land. It sounds terrifying, but
Chris is raising his hand. Yes, darling. So, just for the benefit of everyone listening, Chris, our development producer, has just said this is an opportunity to market luxury goods to luxury people. We'd already covered that. Although, if we think of other ways, so
I think there's definitely, and I'm going to be crude here, but I'm all right with it. You know the flight they have in Vegas where people rent it to have sex on the plane?
no.
Oh yeah, it's apparently relatively mainstream. As the flight goes up, the people in the front, when they reach the apex, close the curtains behind them. People get off in the back. But they're rich and they're giving us that funding. We can pay back the lizards.
That's fair.
Let the record show. I like gravity. I think it serves a valuable purpose. Keeps me grounded.
To the Father, to the Son, and to the Holy Ground. Amen.
It brings me down to earth.
Oh, how long have you prepped those puns?
Honestly, they're just flowing out of me. Do you know there's a mental condition for people who physically can't hold back puns?
What's it called?
The German joking addiction. Instead of rare neurological symptoms characterized by tendency to make puns or tell inappropriate jokes or pointless stories in socially inappropriate situations.
The German joking addiction.
Yeah, I can send you the Wikipedia of it.
Yes, please. I'll send it to the Germans I know and ask their opinion.
Your feet on the ground, don't look up, all that stuff. I will talk to you later.
Thanks for listening to The Conspiracy Consultants. This podcast is researched and hosted by me, Michelle Barnett, and Jamie Macrae. Edited and produced by Michelle Barnett, with scripting support by Anna Ryder. It was created and developed by Chris Harding for Whale Song Media. Music for the podcast was done by Nicole Johnson. Our artwork was designed by Luke Galloway for Space Face Films. And our marketing was done by Jamie Macrae. Special thanks to Andy Josephs.